simple, easy layout here. Bend it, slide the swivel down, and clamp it closed. These frogs are absolutely ridiculous. Now that is a fish, people, right there. Just a release. Beautiful fish. Hey guys, J-Town Bassman here with part 2 of my new series of videos on everything you need to know about bass. So today we're going to talk about why bass strike. Now there's 9 major reasons why bass would strike a bait. First one being hunger. All bass are hungry. They're just like us. You got a candy bar sitting on the table. Yeah, you have dinner. It's not dinner time yet, but you go, that candy bar looks pretty good. So you go over there, you eat it. That's what a bass does. They're cruising along in the water. See that bait fish over there? They just go eat it. Just out of hunger. They're a little hungry. I'm going to eat it. That's usually about 35% of your strikes is come from hunger. That's just pure fact because most of your strikes are hunger because bass are always eating. So anything that looks like a real food to them, they'll eat. So it's hunger strike. Your second strike is a reflex strike. Now this is 20 to 30% of your strikes come from reflex. Now when you throw that bait on, that topwater frog hits the water and those ripples go out and then like 2 seconds later the fish explodes, that's just off a reflex. Or when you throw that jig out there and on the way down the bass hits it, reflex. They just turn around. It's just like when someone flicks you like twitch or whatever, or when someone goes to put their hand in your face, you move, you have a reflex. That's what that is. The third reason why they strike is out of anger. That gets from repeated casts. So if you've ever heard of the fan casting method, that's gonna really help. That's what pays off there. You start off on this side and you cast and you cast and you cast and you work your way back and then again. Excuse me. And usually after the third time, if you don't get anything, you're not gonna get anything. But if repeated casts, that'll trigger a strike for sure, because the bass is going to get annoyed at that stupid bait coming in front of his face, so he's just going to get it to just do it because he's pissed off at it, so he's just going to eat it. Your fourth is protective instinct, and that becomes during the spawn. Bass will be on their nests and they'll eat anything and kill anything that comes near their nest, no matter what it is. So that's when you're going to get a lot of your fish is during spawning season, especially when you're going over their beds and stuff where their baby fish are and their eggs. That's their nest, and they will do anything to protect it. They are very territorial when it comes to that. They're very protective of their young and of their other family members. Your fifth is curiosity. Now this is like 3 to 5% of your strikes. It's not even that much. Usually that's if like a bass sees a lure just kind of sitting there and it's like, yeah, I want to know what that is. I think I'm just going to go eat it. That's what that is really. There's nothing else to explain that than just, hey, what's that? I'm going to eat it. They just do that, I guess. So that's your fifth, and it's a very small percentage of a lot of your strikes. Your sixth strike is from when you have a school of bass. Sometimes like one will strike at a bait and they'll get taken out, but that causes some sort of chemical imbalance in the fish and around them, and it causes others to strike too. It's really interesting. If a fish gets caught, they let off some sort of thing that causes other fish sometimes to strike if you're reeling it, if your partner's fishing with you, or you throw out again after catching one, you might get another fish right off the bat again because it's caused another fish to strike. Your seventh is a territorial instinct. If you're in their territory, you're going to get your bait eaten. Again, that's spawning, post-spawn, pre-spawn. That's their thing, so you're going to have to get out of there, and they're going to make you get out of there by eating your bait, so then you get the fish. That's how it works. And your 8 is killer instinct. A lot of times you'll see this when when you're pulling in a big lure or a big swim bait, and you get a little tiny, 8-inch bass hit that's just because they want to kill it. They don't like it. It's in their area. They don't want it there. They're going to hit it to kill it. And they do that a lot, actually. You'll be surprised at how many bait fish or how many fish and other things they kill just because they're not big enough to eat it, obviously, but they just do it to kill them. So that's pretty interesting in how they kill stuff, because it's just like, I guess you could say, protecting their house, I guess. Like, they just kill it. So, I mean, like, if someone came into your house and you shot them with a gun, that's kind of like the same thing, I guess you could say. And then the ninth one being sheer ignorance, just to do it. They just want to eat your bait and eat whatever because they have the power. They're the top of the food chain in the pond usually, so they'll just do it because they can, just like humans. We can eat that candy bar because we can. It's basically how they act, how they live in the wild. So those are the 9 ways that the bass strike. They strike out of hunger, reflex, anger, protective instinct, curiosity, that reaction from another fish striking can cause more, your territorial instinct, killer instinct, and just plain ignorance. So that's your 9 ways bass strike. I hope you learned something new. Maybe it's going to help your fishing methods. And maybe you'll know now if you get one and then you get another one right off the bat, you go, holy cow, that was a strike caused because the other one caught the other fish, or maybe he was hungry, or maybe he was angry and trying to kill it. Now you can really think about that when you're fishing, and I hope this helped you. And I look forward to making more videos about these. So give me some feedback, and if you got any questions, let me know. And as always, be safe fishing and have fun.